the word ma'ruf for what is right and munkar for what is wrong is referring to that which is universally always been known and always will be known as right, and always during the history of time until the end of time has failed to become known in humanity around the planet Earth as being right. That which has had a million years or whatever to prove that it was right. Okay? And never made it. It's not qualified to be what a person should line up with, but the time will use the moment to tempt a person to line up at the moment with that which has never proved to be right. What society on earth admires slapping your mama? They got some kind of sauce they call slap your mama sauce, right? But to my knowledge, in America, Africa, Europe, Asia, the islands of the Pacific, slapping your mama has failed to earn recognition as being the thing to do. What is with you must vanish. What is with Allah will endure. Friday, we talked about the river current as an example. That if you go down to the river, and in Memphis, the Mississippi River runs along our western border, and the water is flowing from the north up in Minnesota and those areas, Minnesota and all that, down towards the Gulf of Mexico. And if you look upstream at anything about some driftwood, a particular froth or whatever you may see, it looks like it's in the future. And at some moment, it gets closer and closer until it is with you. For how long? You need a stopwatch. And your stopwatch can't actually calculate because it's constantly moving. And just as soon as you see it as being with you, look again and it's already in the past. Right? So why do they call it current? And why do they talk about current events?
Now, right now.
Current events is the running story of what seems to be going on at the moment. The Word of God is always true, and it never makes a 6 o'clock news. Only the current events. And the people in the news, TV news business, talk show business, they have a program that they've committed to. They have a time slot. They got to talk every day. They cannot come on and say there's nothing to tell. They got to talk about something very, very recent every day, every day. And we watch it every day. We will never get eternal wisdom from current events. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I'm only talking about the first two lines of this item. Or like what's going on?
And not to make you lose your thought.
but I have heard some thinkers say there's not such a thing as the present, that there's only the past and the future, because even the millisecond that just went by is gone. And I think it really emphasizes just how quick present vanishes. But you can't capture it. Not even, you can't hold it for that most minute amount of time and say, okay, it's here, it's gone. Just that quick.
That doesn't make me lose my train of thought. That is my train of thought. But you said it better than I did, right? So there it is. So what's the vanish and what is the endure? Now there's a red box on the screen for the terms for vanish and endure. So if we look on the transliteration side, on the left, top left, there's a transliteration. If we look into the top right, there's the original Arabic. If we look in the bottom part, there's the English translation. So Yanfadu is it vanishes. Ba is the enduring quality. Pronounce please. Yanfadu.
Yanfadu.
Ba.
Ba.
Now, we're not going to quibble amongst us about the sound of what we would call the letter A. I mean, back, ba, right? There's grammatical specialists that can give lectures about when to pronounce the equivalent of the letter A, when to call it back, and when to call it ba. That's not the major significance for what we're trying to learn or share today. But in case a person doesn't know, or this is a reminder, most words in Arabic have three-letter roots. So yanfadu comes from nafada. Nafada. The part up under the red, noon, fa, dal, the technical names for the Arabic letters, but nafada. From that, one of the forms is yanfadu. But in red, you see, it's about vanishing, being exhausted, or being depleted. Okay? We had some testimony in the Arabic class about a life that seemed to have some attractiveness, and the attractiveness of living that kind of life got depleted. The goodness ran out, and the bad of it remained. The shine, the attractiveness doesn't look like such a good idea anymore. The lower half, ba, ka, ya, basically, is endure, remain, or be everlasting. So, I think Sergeant Abdul Baki is now lieutenant. That messed up my whole thing because I like the rhyme of Sarge Muhammad. But now he's lieutenant. Okay, Abdul Baki. He's a servant of the one that's enduring, remaining, everlasting. The Quran has a portion, I don't remember the exact chapter and verse, where a lot mature logic is than the logic that's only good. So at least we have these terms. Now, the verse goes on to say, and we will certainly bestow on those who patiently persevere their reward according to the best of their passion. So we want to look and share for the benefit of whoever. About this part, we shall certainly bestow. So in the top half of the slide, we have a red, not exactly a box, but a line kind of drawn by hand around it and also around the transliteration. La najziyanna. La najziyanna. We shall certainly bestow is one of the translations. That's a lot of syllables. Try it though. La najziyanna. Okay. So we're looking at English letters. So the way the Arabic does the letter that we would call a J, there's a little pop behind it. It belongs to a certain family of letters where there's a certain pop behind it when you stop. Because it's not la naja or la naji or la najun. It's just la naj. So the reciter said that you're supposed to make it sound that way. Wala naj ziyanna. Wala naj ziyanna. So what? You've heard people say jazakallah, jazakallah khairan.
Yes.
So this is another form of the same thing. So maybe this makes it clearer. It comes from jazaya, jazaya, to pay, reward, recompense, or to avail. All right. Bottom left, you have the Arabic and the transliteration, jazak, jazakallah. So first of all, it is not jazaka. It's jazaka. The A after the Z has double count. Jazaka. The jaza is the reward. The ka is you. And then who are we wishing to do the reward comes on the end. Jazaka. So it's the same thing in Surah 16, Ayah 96 in the form La najziyanna. La najziyanna. So the jizya in that is a form of the same as the jaza when we say may Allah reward you. Okay? All right, to try to make this more plain, here's the first of all on the left side the breakdown of jazakallah. The jaza is the reward. Ka is the you singular, not kum. Kum is y'all. Ka is person. When you're saying to one person, jazaka. When you're saying to a group, jazakum. Okay? Like alaykum. Assalamu alaikum. All right, so that's jazakallah. Now on the right side, this is relevant for several people because we make some study in Arabic already. Not everybody's at the same place, and that's okay. There's a lot of stuff that I learned, I didn't actually learn how to do it. I learned that there was such a thing as that knowledge. I was sharing with the class that when Coach Nick Saban gets on TV as a commentator now, he used to be Alabama football coach, right? But now he's a commentator. Well, I don't understand what he's saying. He starts talking about the defense being in a nickel defense or a cover two. I don't know what a cover two is. And when he's drawing it, it's too fast for me. But at least I learned that he knows. Right. And I know that there is such a thing as a cover two and a nickel defense. I don't know what it is. I don't know the science behind it. I can't draw up a play. But I know that that's growth for me. Right? And yesterday, he and this type of people, commentator people, the ones who get paid, God, how much money they make. Everybody can talk sports, but can't everybody get paid $1 million? Joe talked baseball, and I think it was $8 million a year because he knows at a different level. I don't know how much Nick Saban gets paid, but I bet you it's 6 digits. The top. The top. The drunk in the bar can talk, in the sports bar. But he can't get Nick Saban money. Right? Anyway, so La Najaziana turns out it's 4 parts. Part number 1, La, is not part of the main word. La on the front is emphasizing what the main point is. La goes on the front of all kind of stuff. It's an emphasis. And it turns out that the na on the back is also an emphasis. There's a way of putting emphasis by putting la on the front of stuff and the letter N, so to speak, on the back. So I looked up from the Quranic concordance, and it broke down the 4 parts. Prefix, and then A on the back, the emphatic suffix. So in the middle, the na is a we signal. Just the is where the of the meaning is carried. It's about me. Just like in Jazak. Together, we definitely reward. Okay? Not just we reward. It's emphatic. Emphatic on the front and the back. It's encased in emphasis. So there's a lesson.
But then,
Yes.
I have a question. Sorry, it's kind of off subject tonight.
Mhm.
Because I don't want to ever get off of it. The word for tax, what is
So I knew that would come to somebody's mind. Yes, it is the same thing, the
Okay.
jizya tax.
Uh-huh.
The jizya tax, because, remember, the meaning is pay,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
so you pay the jizya tax,
Okay.
but it's also reward. So,
I'm like, that's what, yeah.
I forget the name of the snitch line.
Right.
But, what was it? Some cash?
Yeah, right.
What?
Crime
Stoppers
Yeah.
or something. You get your reward, but they pay your reward. Right? And a recompense, they pay you get paid. That's what compensation. is paid. So, so the last thing they mentioned in the definition was avail. And I guess if it's something avails, it pays off. And if it doesn't avail, it doesn't pay off. You see, you have to kind of feel for how this stuff is related.
Mm-hmm.
But in some sense, it's forms of the same thing. Okay? If you look under there, you see 5 dots in the paragraph. Dot said it appears in the Quran once as the noun jizya.
Okay.
And Surah 9, ayah 25, and I looked it up, and it's talking about those who pay the jizya.
The letters, I think it was, and these were like Saman,
Oh,
you
yeah.
remember that?
It was a memory trick to remember something.
The letters you can eliminate from the root word.
To get down to the root word.
Get to the root.
Yeah, it
So
was
that's the Mika,
something like that. Something like that. One of our teachers combined the letters that you most likely listed alphabetically the way the word is. It's arranged alphabetically into the root that it comes from. So if you La Najazienna, you look in. So with time, you learn to bypass the la. That's the usual suspect. Okay? You bypass the na. But if when the syllable starts with J, there is no, to my knowledge so far, no known J-Z something. It might be under J-Z-Y, J-Z, different things. Sa'altamuliha.
that's right.
Sa'altamuliha is a combination that you use a prefix or something. Okay? Sa'altamuliha. The S, the A, the L, the T, the M, the N, the H. I'm trying to figure that out. How would the H be? I don't know. Let's move on. Because the chairs have to go down and stay. So, Aladina Sabaru, that's the part in the line now. Back to the opening statement. Patient persevere is you don't get swept away by the short-term stuff. Is there anybody who could take a pointer stick and point out the meaning of several of the Arabic words there? If you feel like stepping forward, rolling forward, coming forward in any way, you don't have to. Anyone? What are they going to say? Okay, go ahead. Outgoing.
So Yan Padu is banished by King, is endure, Sabaru is patient. Yan Padu,
Young Badu is
banished,
correct. And that's over here.
yes. By King is, is
Okay.
endure.
Want to mention for those who are in Arabic, this is Kin. We were talking about this double
Kin.
E. Kin
By King,
is enduring, lasting, etc. What else?
Sabaru,
Sabaru, talk to us.
talking about patience.
Sabaru is about patience and perseverance. Thank you, that.
A question over.
No question. Actually, I'm on.
Go.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Bernie. I go to Kanu. Am I saying that right, Email?
That's
Kanu, which is right here.
You said you is the single. Am I correct?
No.
No, right? Go back. When you told us yes, and you told me when I see Kanu, yes, sir.
Cat on the end.
On the end, on.
Cat on the end.
Yes, sir.
Can you heard of kun fayakun? So this is, it is. The Asani with the most Hassan, beautiful, best. What y'all be doing? With the best, what y'all be doing? Yeah, I'm in the Salihat. Do righteous deeds. So this is y'all do. Come on. Alhamdulillah. So what am I? That's Jazakallah. What's that mean? May Allah reward you. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? I don't care if you're from South Memphis, North Memphis. Who thought you'd be sight reading this? We don't have time for more takeaways.
So,
Yes, sir.
We've been talking about time today, and I'd like to read Al Asr.
103.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. By the token of time through the ages, verily man is in loss, except such as have faith and do righteous deeds, and join together of the truth and of patience and constancy. Law is spoken and law is.
Let us close with dua. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. Our Lord, do not cause our hearts to deviate now that thou hast guided us, and grant us mercy from thy very own presence. Thou art the grant all with
Any announcements?
We got something going on downstairs.
Okay.
no program. Not those chairs, empty. Thank you, looking.